Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Doxy here with another video for y'all today. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to install a FiveM server onto your local host or onto a VPS server that's Windows based. So let's get straight into it. Alright guys, so you're going to need a couple things here. First off, what you're going to need is you're going to need the database. So there's two different ways that you can do the database. You can either go with XAMPP for developmental testing and like base servers, and then you can switch over to Heidi once you're ready for a population. It's very recommended that you use Heidi in a populated server instead of XAMPP because XAMPP is only designed for basically developers, testing and seeing how things work. So getting into it, first thing we're going to go ahead and download is XAMPP. And don't worry guys, like I said, I will show you guys how to transfer XAMPP over to MarinaDB in the next video. So with this one, we're just going to go ahead and hit the download for Windows. And then the download should start automatically. If it doesn't, click here. All right, we're still waiting on it to download. It's taking its time there. There it is. All right, so once this is done downloading, we're going to move this over to our desktop and we're going to get all of our installs together. Okay, guys, so. All right, we're going to move that over onto the desktop. That's XAMPP. This is going to be for our database. And then we're going to go ahead and go to another link that I will leave in the description as well, which is going to be your artifacts. All right, guys, so now once we're to the FiveM artifacts page here, we're going to get our latest Windows build. I usually go one below the blue. There are websites where you can check most stable builds if you want to get like a more accurate stable build, but this one should be fine. We're going to go ahead and drag this over to our desktop as well, just like so. All right. What we're going to do over here is delete these delete these off of Windows really quick. Alright guys, once you got your XAMPP downloaded and you have your Windows server downloaded, the next step that you're going to want to do is you're going to need to grab a license key over here on your CFX portal. So we will do that here in a second. First thing I'm going to do is generate a new key. This display name is going to be YouTube test. Okay, we're going to go ahead and generate that. Now when I look down here, I have YouTube test right here, and this is my server registration key, so we're going to go ahead and keep that where it's at until we're ready. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to load up XAMPP. Let's go ahead and start installing that. So we're going to click yes on that prompt when it pops up, and then we're going to go through all the installs here, guys. Click OK if you get that message, hit next. Inside of here, the only things that we're going to need, and this is very important, is you're going to uncheck the fake send mail, the Webalizer. You're going to keep PHP myadmin checked. You're going to keep Perl checked. Tomcat can come off. Mercury can come off. And then the FTP client you can keep on just in case you're trying to, FTP your way into that database. And then we're going to go ahead and hit next. All right, select the folder. That's the folder name. Go ahead and hit next. Your language, next, next again, and then you're going to wait until it's done installing. All right, so now it is done. It has been installed. This is your database. So we do want to start the panel. So we'll just go ahead and hit finish. The XAMPP panel will then start. So we're not going to start anything here just yet. We're going to minimize this, and then we're going to go to our search bar on Windows, and we're going to go ahead and type in Windows Defender Firewall. Once this comes up, you're going to go to Advanced Settings, and then from Advanced Settings, you're going to go ahead and click on Inbound Rule, and then you're going to go ahead and click New Rule. So for this, we're going to need to open up the ports for FiveM so that way players can connect to your server. So what you're going to do is hit Port, and then you're going to go ahead and hit Next, and then we're going to select this on TCP. From here, you're going to put in 30120. All right, that's the port number, and then you're going to go ahead and hit Next. Allow the connection, next, next again, and then you're just going to name this FiveM TCP in, and then go ahead and hit finish. All right, so now you have your TCP rule here, and then once again for inbound rules, you're going to go ahead and hit new rule, and then you're going to hit port, next. This time you're going to be hitting UDP, and then the Pacific port is still going to be 30120, okay? And then you're going to hit next, and then here it says allow connection. You hit next, next again, and this one's going to be called FiveM UDP in. Okay, it doesn't really matter how you name these as long as you know which ones are what, okay? So now your inbound rules are complete. So now we're going to go to the outbound, and we're going to hit new rule. And this time we're going to do the same thing. We're going to hit port, and then we're going to hit next. This time we're going to be doing TCP again. So the port specifically is going to be 30120. And then we're going to go ahead and hit next. And then this time we're going to have to click on allow connection because this is our outbound rule. So after you hit allow connection, go ahead and hit next, next again, and then name this one FiveM TCP out. Okay, guys, and then hit finish. All right, and then you're going to do it one more time, new rule. We're going to go port, we're going to go next, we're going to go UDP this time, and then we're going to do 30120 again for that port, and then hit next. Allow the connection, and then hit next again, and now we're going to name this FiveM UDP out. Okay, guys, and then hit finish. All right, so now you should have FiveM UDP out and TCP out, and then in the inbound rules, you should have FiveM TCP in and FiveM UDP in. All right, this is done. You can go ahead and close out of your firewall now. Everything is set up there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up XAMPP. We're going to start Apache first, and then we're going to start MySQL. All right, if you see everything in the green, just like my screen is now, you have successfully set up the database of your FiveM server, so you can minimize this. If you close it out, it'll just go to the system tray. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open up this zip file here, look at some of the files in it. The easiest way that you can do this is just go ahead and create a folder and name this folder server. Okay, so now you have an empty folder named server. You will open up this one here and copy all contents inside of this zip file, and we're going to drag them over to server, just like so. All right, so once this is completed, the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be launching the actual server itself, which will then create our TX files and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and click into server. We're going to go ahead and look for the start application. It's going to be in here somewhere. Sometimes it takes a little bit. There it is. So FX.RE, we're going to want to start this. So just double click that. If you get a message like this, just click more info and then run anyway. All right, we're done with this folder. We can close it out. So now it's going to start up like this, and it's going to pop you into a window like such. If you're not already signed into your CFX, then sign into your CFX, of course, but then go ahead and hit link account. All right, it's going to prompt you to sign in CFX. Like I said, I'm already signed in. So the Discord ID here is optional. Don't really need to put none of that there. Backup's all optional. Just go ahead and hit well, we got to put a password in. So YouTube test. And then, all right. So once we're done with that, it's going to set us up with the server setup itself. So you're going to change this name here. For me, it's going to be YouTube test. All right, so for you, you would name it whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. So the deployment type. All right, you're going to want to click on popular recipes. So when you click on popular recipes, it's going to show you, your ESX legacy, your QBox, your QB core. So for today, we're going to be installing QBox. The same process works for all of these. So let's go ahead and click on QBox. And then the data folder. So the data folder, typically you want to be on your desktop. By default, it will put it there. Go ahead and hit save. And then go ahead and run the recipe deployer, okay? So once we start running this recipe deployer, it will look like this, and then we'll start going down the list. So we'll hit next on the server CFG. This is where you have to have your server registration key. So if you guys don't remember, I told you that you're going to want to head over here to your CFX portal, and you're going to want to go ahead and generate a key. So once you have a key generated, you're then going to want to take the key from right here. So this is the server key, copy it, and then we're going to go ahead and minimize. We'll go back to this page here, and we will then paste that key here and then run the recipe deployer. Okay, guys, once this is completed here, the server itself is initially installed. Okay, and I'll show you guys in a moment once this is done. All right, guys, so it looks like this is all completed now. So the next step that you're going to want to do is hit next. Inside of here, it's going to have, your server CFG. These are your tokens, your framework, all that stuff will be in here. Your license keys, all that. All right, so once you see this screen here, you're going to go ahead and hit run. So we'll save and run. And now you see that the server is starting up. And once the server is done starting up, you're going to want to look for this right here, which is going to show you that the database connection was established. All right, guys, so the database is running right now. All right, which is perfect. So now what we're going to do is you can connect to this server by using your server link, which would be provided in that TX. So here's the server itself running. The TX data folder right here is where all of your server files will be, and then this is the actual server artifact right here. So if you click into TX, you'll see, your base, and then you can click in here and you'll have your resources. Um, this is where your logo's at right here. This would be your logo, just a little default. You can put whatever you want there. Keep in mind it needs to be 96 by 96 in order for FiveM to recognize it in PNG or GIF form. All right, guys. So there you have it. All right. I've showed you guys how to install a FiveM server with the database, and this is just the base way of doing it. I will show you guys in a later video on how to properly install Heidi SQL so that way you're no longer using XAMPP. So one more thing I want to show you before I end this video today is how to access your database through XAMPP. It's very simple actually. All you need to do is go ahead and click admin on the MySQL section and it will bring you here. Once you're brung to phpMyAdmin, you will see that you have your QBox base right here. You'll click on that and then this will be all of your database files. And if you need to import database files in here, you can do it two different ways. You can click on import and then choose the file, or you can go to where the SQL would actually be and just paste it here and then go ahead and hit go. Alright guys, I hope this video was educational for you guys and helped you install your FiveM server. If you guys have any questions, don't forget to join our Discord and I will help you guys set this up. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and like always, don't forget to hit that bell for all notifications and subscribe. I'll see y'all on the next one.